I'd like to welcome in now Dr. Daniel Bober, a psychiatrist and mental health expert. Dr. Bober, thank you so much for your time. So let's talk about these possible warning labels on social media. What do you think about that?
Well, I think you have to take a really nuanced approach. Saying that social media has never proven to be safe is different than saying social media has proved to be harmful. It's true that warning labels did help reduce smoking, but there probably were other factors that reduced smoking that went along with that. I think the issue is it really comes down to the fact that there are warning labels all over society, whether we're getting on a theme park ride or we're drinking an energy drink. The problem is that in some way we have become very habituated to those labels, and so the effect has been diluted. Research shows, particularly a meta-analysis that looked at some of these studies, that when people see warning labels for the first time, it makes an impact. But what we don't know is that repetitive exposure to warning labels over time may not have the same impact. So while I think it's not harmful and it may be beneficial, I don't think that we know for certain whether the warning labels would detract or would reduce social media use. I think if we put resources into looking at the content, particularly filtering out harmful content,
Right.
we know particularly in young girls, it can affect body image, self-esteem, it can increase eating disorder behavior, bullying. I think these are all important points.
Right. And that's a good point because, we do know that those warning labels, in addition to cigarettes, also on alcohol. I don't know if that's necessarily stopping people from taking a drink. So Dr. Bober, I'd like to go into some of what you just mentioned there. Talk about in depth some of the harms of social media, especially when it comes to young people who are so impressionable.
So when you look at social media, there's also a difference between active use and passive use. What we find is that people who engage in passive use, just scrolling through, those tend to be the more depressed people. But the question is, are these more depressed people who are using social media, or is the social media itself making them more depressed? But as I said before, young girls are especially vulnerable. When they're viewing this content, they're trying to attain a physical ideal, which is unattainable. It's affecting their self-esteem. It's affecting their body image. A lot of harassment happens online from maybe some of their peers. So you have to realize that 95% of teenagers are using this technology. So it has tremendous social health implications. My recommendation would be that we delay social media use in kids as long as possible, probably around middle school. But we know that 40% of them are already using it between ages 8 to 12. So it's really important for parents to do that.
And Dr. Bober, since I have you here, obviously we know, social media can be harmful when it comes to young people, but, talk about some of the potential harm to adults, because that doesn't mean that it doesn't, harm
They don't get
adults.
off the hook. Absolutely. And I will say this to your point, I think a lot of the problem is that the kids are modeling a lot of the parents' behavior. So when you're at the dinner table as an adult and you're on your phone and your kids see you on your phone, especially when it's family dinner time, I don't think you're modeling very, healthy behaviors. So it's important to do that. Also, I would say not to keep any devices in the bedroom during sleep time. Try to have them out there. And also, again, delaying it as much as possible so that they can be more responsible when they're using it.
Yes, and just for all of us to remember that just because you see something on social media does not mean that is the reality. Dr. Daniel Bober,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.